Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. I want to zoom in on the concept of a narcissist sibling and the effect that it has on the dynamics of a family. Now, it's quite a bit different thing when you have narcissistic parents because it's the parents who are running the show. They're giving backseat to the children. The children end up suffering because they don't get what they need. The parents are envious. The parents are jealous of their children. They withhold love. They withhold guidance. They really subject them to a lot of hostility, a lot of aggression, a lot of crazy making, crazy behavior. A child really internalizes a lot of this sort of negative feedback, and then they go through life with self-esteem. Now, that's on a different level when the parents are narcissistic, abusing their children. However, if you have a dynamic where the family, the parents are stable, loving, warm, communicative, caring of their children, protective, there with them, open communication style, self-disclosure, not a lot of stuff is being swept under the rug. Things are basically functional. However, if you have a truly narcissist, kind of disordered sibling, it can indeed change the dynamics quite a bit. For one, the sense of entitlement throws the whole excuse me, it throws the whole dynamic off, because really siblings should truly be treated on a fair level, kind of equilibrium, and there should be a homeostasis within that family. Excuse me here. It's like hay fever season. Anyway, so there really should be an equilibrium, a homeostasis, kind of a no favorites game played between the siblings. However, the narcissist sibling will make sure to it that there is no even playing ground. There is no fair match. They are going to come out on top, above and beyond, no matter what it takes, no matter whose back they have to stab, even if it's a sibling. You know, they say blood is thicker than water. The narcissist sibling does not look at their family in much the same way. They utilize and play the people just like they would a flute. They're going to play their parents and have them try to view them as the golden child, as the one who's all deserving, all talented, deserving of all the favors, the privileges, and to the detriment, meaning to the lack of their sibling. They have a very skewed perception. They're not equal, into equal sharing. Oh, that makes sense. That everything should be divided equally, or we should be treated equally and fairly. They're going to work basically night and day to make sure that they're perceived as the favorite, that their friendships or their children are perceived as the favorites in the person, in the dynamics, and that their personhood is going to remain at the center of all the family engagements. They're going to try to basically, what am I looking for? They're going to try to show up everybody else. I mean, it could be somebody's 65th anniversary. I mean, a really monumental event, and then they're trying to come at it with, well, I just got this promotion. They're going to want to steal the show. I mean, they're not going to let anybody have anything for, they're not going to have anybody have any sort of special moment, special event, credit where credit is due. Things that, it could be, a first baby for somebody, or a turning one party, and, they're coming out with more, more drama and make more chaos, so that it really turns to be all about them. Their new vehicle, their promotion at their job. They're going to pull out the dirty laundry, and they're going to try to convince and lie to the parents that so-and-so sibling is mentally ill or crazy and deranged, or they were never there for you. So they're going to try to cloud and fog the parents' view, of course, because the parents hold the purse string. The parents hold the property. The parents hold the Christmas ornaments. the family heirlooms, the keepsakes, the paintings, the vases that have been passed down through the generation. The narcissist sibling is basically going to be eyeing all this way before their time. I mean, they're going to claim that, Craftsman sofa, and the parents aren't even 60 yet. They're going to be like, well, I'm going to be, I deserve this, when you guys pass. I mean, they have no trouble putting their parents' death in front of their own material attainment. It's really sick. An extended family, aunts, uncles, great aunts, great uncles. I mean, they're going to be eyeing their property, their security deposit box. They're going to be looking at whatever it is that they can get, and if it's not for their own hoarding sake, so to speak, what can they sell? It's just, they're into the constant accumulation, and they get quite a rise of power out of this sort of activity, but it's really much to the dismay and severing of families. I mean, families can be torn apart by a narcissist sibling because of the rifts that they create, the chasms that they create. They can come up with all sorts of issues, financial issues. The parents have to bail them out. Drug issues, they need to have special rehab treatment, and then the parents are paying the medical bills. They have alcohol problems. They need to be bailed out. They need a place to live. And the parents still seem to see them, if they have them manipulated, they're still seeing them in this precious light. Maybe they're the baby in the family and the baby who can do no wrong. I mean, it's like the parents get deluded and deceived. However, there's usually some siblings who are going to be keen to it or who are onto it and like, this person here, this sibling is getting way too much money, attention. They're being put on this pedestal. They're getting all the accolades. They're getting all the love. They're getting all the good vibes. And I could be sitting here, attaining all this stuff, and I get like scoffed at and laughed at for my attainments. Ridiculed, laughed at, like, well, what is that? That doesn't really stack up to what your sibling does. I mean, they're like, oh, it's like there's nothing that they can do no wrong. There's a veil of a veil that is in front of them that serves to basically color their entire their parents' perception of them, so that they end up getting really quite a bit more than others. And sometimes you do need to attain, have like a reality sounding board with a legal professional, a counselor professional on how to safeguard yourself from this. Maybe bring it up to your parents' attention. It's evident that your sibling is engaging in these behaviors to sway your decision, and I hope you'll consider things objectively and, really look at exactly what's going on, so that they don't, screw things up for the family. Because if they will, they will work extremely hard to try to sever the family and break the family up. I mean, they have no trouble breaking apart a family if it means they get an extra trust account, extra property, a car, boat. I mean, whatever it is that the family has, I mean, it should be belonging to their name. And they'll even say at family events, well, I'm the favorite sibling, aren't I? And it's like, you're in your 30s, why are you even speaking like this? You're in your 40s, you're in your 50s. I mean, they say it when they're in their 60s. It just goes on and on. They don't outgrow it. That's the bizarre thing, is that oftentimes if you've grown up with a narcissist sibling, you think, they'll grow out of this. This is just like the rebellious side. Well, you end up finding out that there's more to it than that. They have, this kind of disorder going on, and then they tend to either, bring in a lot of different people into the family, and then they're getting through divorces, and then they're expected to embrace this new person and also embrace the ex. I mean, you can get into a whole lot of different strange dynamics with a narcissist sibling that really, deprive you as a healthy contributor in the family. It deprives you of any presence. And that's the sad thing, is it really tries to shadow over all the good that you have given. All the times you've been there, all the times, the sibling doesn't even see. you know, all the help that you've provided, all the encouragement. Maybe you were a support system to your family, your parents, you know. You had to bail them out of their alcoholism. You had to, you know, talk to a counselor at school because the parents were so messed up, passing out, you know, not eating dinner with the kids, passing out from alcohol. You had to wake them up, you know, tell them to eat their dinner. It's 9:30 at night now, you know, and it's like, you know, you had to hold the whole family together. You were like the rock. And, you know, if you have a narcissist sibling, chances are they got out scot-free. They have, you know, they're just like escaping through unscathed. They didn't have to deal with any, you know, the brunt of any issues. And meanwhile, you know, you did a lot of the work in the family, a lot of the emotional work, emotional glue, and they just kind of get the prize. So, you know, protect yourself. You know, definitely keep a clear view, a clear perspective. You know that you know that you know. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. You know when people are getting more than their fair share, and things shouldn't, you know, should be divided equally. So make sure, you know, that things are set up like a family will. Making sure that, you know, things are set up equally. You know, it's okay to say, you know what, I have never read your will. Do you have one that I should read now while I'm coherent? Or, you know, make some sort of statement like that. You know, just to make sure, you know, and you sometimes you can discuss it with another sibling. You know, so and so has gotten so much stuff. I mean, are you aware of this? And like clue them in if they're like living long distance or something, because they're just gonna get, you know, truckloads of time and truckloads of property that, you know, rightfully should be distributed equally. So if the parents are deluded, it's time you give them a little bit of a clue in and start using some of the documentation. That's really the best part. But if you try to have a discussion with the parents or confront the sibling who's narcissist, you're not going to get anywhere, because one, the narcissist feels they've done nothing wrong. This is just how it is. I'm the baby. I am the golden child. That's my role. That's my rank. I'm not giving it up. That's who they are. And then the parents, oftentimes, if they're deceived and deluded and are playing on that path, that role, well, it's hard to convince them otherwise. I mean, you can try to ask that things be distributed evenly. Just make a cool, calm request like that. So just basically, you've got yourself protected and you're not playing dumb. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.